What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Yes, I'm doing a late night quick video. I just had to go over this. I posted it on my Facebook. I think I'll post it in my community tab. ExxonMobil is laying off a ton. Let's be very clear, a ton of middle management. They are laying off everybody and their mama right now. They already let people know. Some of it's going to be voluntarily, and some of it's going to be involuntary. Now, what does involuntary means? It means you're going to retire early or not. You're going to be fired or retire, your choice. What's scary about that is usually the firing starts around Christmas, literally December 1st. Several friends I know last year got fired around December 1st. Middle management sucks. Now, I'm going to let y'all know, I had looked up the whole article about it. Middle managers, when it comes to depression, supervisors suffer from depression at 19%. Managers suffer at 14%. Owners and employees, 12%. Way less, right? Because everybody's doing a certain task. So ExxonMobil is cutting 1,900 U.S. jobs, largely from the Houston management offices. Largely. And if you dig into the article, it basically says, hey, we're going to do a series of voluntary and involuntary layoffs. So you're like, okay, reductions. They said the companies have 75,000 employees worldwide at the end of 2019. So, hey, we're just laying off 1,900. Now, let's do the math on that. Because really, when you talk about middle management, you're talking about a certain sector. But 75,000 divided by 1,900. Oops, sorry, I'm doing it the other way. My bad. They're only laying off less than 2% of their workforce. But the key part of what they said is they're laying off middle management positions in Houston. I don't know if any of you have been to Woodlands in Texas. Put it in the comments if you have. The Woodlands are very nice. $1 million homes. $700,000 homes. And you may be like, Erica, I'm in California. I'm in New York. What $1 million house mean? $1 million house in Houston, Texas is 4, 5, 6 bedrooms. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, depending on what part of Texas, Houston you're in. You can still buy houses in Houston or the Houston suburb, not Houston proper. And you can buy some in the Houston proper in the gentrified areas for $210,000. So, and those will be 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So imagine buying $1 million home in Texas. You're talking about 5, 6 bedrooms. Max Chewing just finished remodeling a house with like $500,000, but the house was still $500,000 when he bought it. So old boy spent $1 million for this house. It's got a pool. It's got a wet bar. It's got bedrooms upstairs. It's got a balcony behind the back. It's got a 3-car garage. It's got all kind of stuff. So when I talk about the most people that are living over there in the Woodlands are in the oil sector. Now let's not get it twisted. When we talk about companies laying off people, Houston more than others can absorb it because they have this economy where, trying to say it in a nice way, you have a lot of foreign stuff going on. And when I mean foreign, I mean you got a huge Asian community, you have an Indian community there, you have a Vietnamese community. You think anything you can think of, it's coming in there. You got a port, you got all kind of careers going on. Trucking's a big hub out there. If I could get a truck parking lot out there, honey, I'd be really making the money, right? There's a ton of money going on there. But if you talk to somebody like, well, oil and gas is the only thing Houston does, that means you have not researched Texas. You don't know what you're talking about. You probably never stepped foot in that part of Texas because that hasn't been true for 45 years, close to 30 years at this point. But I thought that study was interesting. And then also the study said on anxiety, when tested, supervisors had 11% anxiety. The employees had 5% and the owners had 5% and the employees had 2%. I can tell you right now, as a person, the main reason why, and I think I'm going to put this in the description, is unable to challenge the orders from above, right? It's your boss. They told you what they expect. And then you're constantly juggling constant requests. A big problem I had at my office, and I currently have, is people always just reaching out, Erica. No. You have your list of assignments to do. You don't need to talk to me. Even someone on my staff, they were a manager. They still are a manager. They were overwhelmed with how much people were constantly texting them, calling them. Hey, when's this? When's payroll? When's that? When's this? When's that? It was their first time in their life ever experiencing that, and it like blew them away. right? And so what I tell people is you have to really understand middle management is chasing cats, is herding cats. Anybody that has worked at Lowe's, Home Depot, you're running around trying to make sure your people doing what they're supposed to do. Now with this big swath of remote work, there are countless apps, screenshot monitors, things that make sure your person is doing work, right? You're not just gonna come in your room and tap on the computer for a few minutes and then walk away. You're not gonna do that. You have a lot of monitorings, right? that are preventing people from doing this BS work where they're not really working. They're pretending like they're working and then they're not really working. Sorry about that. Part of the reason I bring this up is as a business owner, the number one thing, and a lot of these middle managers that are getting fired, you got two types. You got two types. You got one person, okay? You got one person who, SNS, what am I saying wrong? Am I telling a lie? I ain't saying no names. Okay, so we got one person who is a middle management. They're in it for the status. They're in it for the title. They're going to be kind of having a hard time on LinkedIn getting a new job because they're really in it for the status, right? That particular title. Then you have people who are in it for the level of pay, right? That's just where they've progressed at this point. They're 40. They really ain't an entry-level person anymore. They really know how to do the thing. And here's the thing. You're going to have to be super competitive. Super competitive. You're going to have to be able to do more than one thing as a middle manager, right? You're going to need how to do the job. So when you can tell them, hey, this person's really not doing the job, we need to replace them. Because in the official definition of middle managers, which I think I'm putting in the description, it's literally whether the company is flowing or slowing down, that blame kind of gets placed on you. And it's not fair, but you're the meat in the sandwich, right? The employees at the bottom only do what you kind of say so, right? And when surveyed, employees leave a job because of the management. Not because of the task, not because of the work environment, but most time when they exit and they do the survey, it's because of management. So careful of that. Careful. Looking at my notes here I took for this. There's like 5,001. So long and the story short, I copied and pasted a lot of articles of talking about how, yeah, it is. Middle management is tricky in keeping those above and below you happy. Yeah. You can have the title if you didn't know, but if you don't know how to do the job, it won't help you. They will ask you. Exactly. Yeah. You can get in there, but that's going to be rough. That's going to be rough. Part of what I hope people are learning from this whole virus experience is that if you're middle management and you think, if I were you, I'd be putting a portfolio together with everything I've done. A big, long portfolio. What have you done for me lately? I'd be doing that right now. If I was somebody at home, I'd be making sure my skills were up, because I think what you're going to see is you're going to start seeing a lot of sales positions everywhere, where if you're a middle management and they want you calling everybody, yeah. Like the best thing I can explain to you is when I meet people in Houston who work in oil and gas, the number one thing they're trying to do if they're a black man is get some rentals, get some other type of business, he said, because they get on their nerves. Asking too much, asking for too much, never giving them vacation time, etc., etc. You can go check out Brian Arigbo. He had, he was one of those people making probably 120,000 to 150,000 in Houston, and people are like, why are you leaving that good job? Why are you leaving that good job? And and it's sad because you see this person buying rentals, investing in real estate, growing their business, and people are like, that's a good job, you should stay. And you're sitting there like, you don't understand. The higher you go up in some of those positions, the worse the job is. Sometimes if you guys can Google it on your own, it's called the golden handcuffs. A lot of people talk about benefits, how they need all these benefits and this time off. I have friends right now who get 6 weeks a year off. And then on top of that, if they get pregnant, they get up to like 3 months, including the men. So this whole, jobs is just over broke. No. There are plenty of people who are out here in this marketplace getting a lot of income from jobs. What you do with it is going to show. People who are over leveraged right now, woo, honey, it's hurting. Okay, right? Because now you have to go in a competitive marketplace and ask for more. You get your raises when you switch jobs, not when you are in your current job. Part of what makes me nervous about this is, if you're smart right now and you're putting together a portfolio, you will go find a smaller business owner like me, or a smaller business owner who's just absolutely swamped, and go take over and be middle management there. Now hear me out. What's happening, a lot of times I talk to other business owners and they be like, oh, I'm gonna quit, girl. I'm about to just quit this whole thing. I'm gonna quit. And you start talking to them and realize they got a good thing going. They just need a manager. They need a manager, right? So one of the people on my staff that I picked up, they're great at what they do. They probably could be flexible and do anything. It just depends on how you word it so that they know they're managers, right? Exactly, right? You're preventing mistakes, or you're taking the blame for it. SNS Consulting recruiter called me today and submitted me for $50 an hour. Congratulations. Listen, I had a friend, he's in engineering. He was in temp work. Let me be very clear. Temp work is always, they never pay you the full price. He was making $55 an hour in temp work. Temp work as an engineer. And it's money out there to be made. If you have a skill, it's money out there to be made. I just want y'all to realize that y'all gonna have to put these portfolios together. You got to start showing people what all you can do. Because there's one or two people, I would keep them, period. I would find a new job, a new title for them. I'd change whatever they were doing and keep them, right? There's certain people, they're flexible with the company, period. If you can keep them with the company, you can move around and change their title. That's the kind of people you want. And so when you go somewhere else, like you see people that go to work for Grant Cardone and some of these smaller business owners, these HVAC businesses, they almost like running it themselves. So she said, hey, you guys, it's SNS Consulting Company. And if you haven't checked out their previous video on the channel, they offer amazing resume and job opportunities. All right, you guys, definitely go check out the links below. She's one of our affiliates, and I'll put it in the links. It'll be in some of the pre-recorded videos for the fall. But yeah, I think this is your time to have your LinkedIn looking shiny. This is your time to see what type of value you can provide people. Christmas ain't no joke. And part of why I knew this is coming, and when I posted it out there, I said, this is coming. People are like, no, people got PPP. Yeah. But the first PPP payments are in November. And also they're allowing you to fill out PPP forgiveness loans. These people letting people go. They let people filling out these forgiveness loans. They letting people go. Somebody said SNS is very good. She helped me with a lot of my resume and cover letter. There you go. So you better screenshot that, Miss Stephanie. I'm telling you right now, this is before Thanksgiving. See, this is before Halloween, actually, letting these people go. Usually they let people go, I kid you not, like around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Honey, if you was buying presents before December 1st, shame on you. Shame on you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this is going to be a very norm, okay? Very normal. Middle management in hotels, middle management in a lot of the companies you see. The only people I know that's in management that's almost safe is HEB, right? HEB is one of the fastest growing companies in the nation. I even dare say Lowe's and Home Depot, because in the spring I think we're going to be in a huge property preservation kind of swing through. And if you really think about it, with 17 million vacant homes in America, wholesaling is going to be crazy, right? But a lot of these guys that are hustlers, that are go-getters, they don't know how to run systems well. They don't know how to manage people. I even struggle with daily operations. So if I have somebody come into my organization that is a middle manager that will work within that organization, implementing structure and system, and also like getting that space between me and people constantly asking me for nothing, that'll be what's up. Well, I mean, other Z people also forget that middle management is basically keeping tabs on people, and we have like a surplus. Even in HR, we have a surplus of apps that do HR type related things. We have apps that call MondayMorning.com, Asana. I mean, you have several things that are like asking people what are they doing daily, and did they complete the task, right? I even had someone on my staff ask, well, you didn't put it in Asana. And I look back like, but I emailed you. And then I said, you know what? Keep what you're supposed to do now. If people expect it to be in Asana, that's what you're going to be doing. Could a tech writer be filling that role? It depends. It depends on the company, really. It really depends on the company. A middle management person is simply, in my mind, for what I see for a lot of these companies, they're just people who got the orders from executives. Hey, this is what we're coming in to do and implement. Let's do it. And then letting them know the friction, letting the upper suites know that, hey, there was a little bit of friction with this change. Yep, ClickUp and Trulio are great system builders as well. Yep. I mean, there's a lot of apps that are kind of filling in that gaps where you as a business owner really don't have to talk to your staff. Like I went in Asana and SOP'd it forever. I'm going in today and a little bit tonight to do a bunch of SOPs again. Like you could kind of create a wall of separation where a middle management person used to be. Now, the thing about that is, I think ultimately you'll still need a middle management person. They just won't be paid as well. They won't be paid as well. They'll just be having a title, right? They tried this years ago at Zappos and all these other companies to get rid of middle management, and people did not like it because Americans are still on a 9-to-5 schedule. I tell people all the time, you could literally have a ton of money and want to hang out in the middle of the week. Your friends are going to be like, why? I have to get ready for work tomorrow. I mean, people literally, it'll be 5 o'clock and people like, I don't know if I can make that happy hour. I got to be up for work tomorrow. So we still live predominantly in a system of 9-to-5ers, and people being home, I think it woke up maybe 10% of the population, maybe 30%. I do know these women is going to be home though. I know a lot of these women are going to be home, and so they better figure it out quick. You better, sis, you going to get married or you going to work from home? What you going to do? You going to do some remote work? It's hard to do remote work with 4 and 5-year-olds and babies. It's very hard. So, I think this is the beginning of a rough little quiet season here, because even this past week, which I've complained repeatedly, right? That, hey, I hate calling for insurance and banking needs, and I'm listening to somebody's children in the background and giving my information, and they cousin and them is in the background. But that happened all this week. I've been trying to get stuff done for insurance, delays, and some people are blaming it on the election and high volume phone calls. I try to get something done in banking and a refinance of one of my personal properties. Again, I mean, literally delay. And I'm like, yo, is y'all working this week? Oh, ma'am, a lot of us are working from home because it's about to be the second startup of lockdowns. I'm like, who said it was locking down? Who? And then I talked to them. They're in New York. I said, damn, God bless you. One of the call people I was on the phone was in Ontario, Canada. I was like, that sounds horrible. Good luck. I'll be down here in Texas. No mask on my face. I mean, even here in North Carolina right now, very, very few people have a mask on. They just out here living their best life. Everybody got guns on their hips this week. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna get on back to Austin. But I do know if you're in middle management, woo, don't get crazy on Christmas. Do not get crazy on Christmas. I want you to be putting your portfolio together, getting yourself ready, and again, 10x the people you think you need to reach out to. A lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna reach out to one of my friends on LinkedIn. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. I'm like, yeah, I more than that. I start getting real familiar with the smaller companies in your town. I remember driving by this, what do you call those zones? It's like a business industrial park. Man, over there were companies I've never even heard of. And I mean, they were making money. Like I went to their websites. I mean, you could tell these companies are making money. And so you're like, the way I'm thinking, I'm like, if I was a person in middle management, I'd be trying to get in one of these little buildings over here. Even if I had to take a pay cut, because they're trying to grow. They're in a warehouse situation. And I think a lot of people are going to need to really brush up on their sales more than what they think. So, thank you for the Bojangles and barbecue fun. Listen, honey, who you telling? Hey now, the Bojangles. Oh, thank you for the 900. Florida people still running around no mask on. I believe it. No firing at AT. It's going another way. Promotions, raises, bonuses, new hires. Listen, Cosmic Wisdom, when it comes to IT, you're trying to keep the best of it, best talent. Same thing with trucking right now. I'm figuring out if we're going to have to offer $3,000 sign-on bonuses just to keep some knuckleheads for the winter. Because they stay for about 90 days anyway. And I'm going to just keep running them around Texas in a circle because I don't got time for no snow, no ice, no mess. No mess this winter. It's crazy. It's crazy that you almost have to, like, I understand why the big name companies pay to send people to school. They just find random people and put them in school, pay for them to be in school, pay crazy amounts on the insurance, and let them drive their trucks. I completely understand it now. And I understand why they do it. Because you ain't got time to argue with no old men. Like, okay, I can do this somewhere else. You can go, bye. Go do it. We started this the other week at my job. Morning calls to report the goals you met yesterday. What your goals are for day. I'm ready for the pink slip though. Dang. Sorry, you're going to get a pink slip. I'm working in Cleveland right now. We're, what does that say? We're having a surge, right? I was just in Cleveland. Don't tell me that. I'll be in NC next month. Tired of running the north. My brother works in IT and they're swamped with work. Oh, they're going to stay swamped. Yes, LinkedIn in the IT world, companies offering unsolicited jobs. Very cutthroat. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be wow in some industries. Very wow. So I wasn't gonna be on here forever. I just had to really break that down to y'all because people are like, oh my god, they're firing, like it's gonna change all of Houston. No, it's not. It's gonna change the Woodlands. It's very much an international city. There's very much ports and all kind of stuff going on. From trucking to transportation to food. Trust me, they down there in Houston acting a fool. Outdoor bars, they going on about their life. But if you in middle management and you was sitting pretty, I don't even know how you sit in middle management ain't that free, other than your house. You need a wake up call if you weren't, because everybody I meet that gets about $100,000 or more a year, they paid off all their baby debts. All their baby debts went away pretty quick. When they started making more money, those little debts, anything in school related, was gone. Only people I've met that are kind of crazy about that is doctors. They will keep that debt and they will go and get a car and go and get a house. I mean, it's one of those things. So, look, you guys, this is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. This is a quick one. I was just going to be in and out. But good luck out there. We'll talk more about it later.